Hello, everybody. It's a dark and rainy day today, and still, I would like to continue our conversation on what are my symptoms trying to tell me. And today, I would love to already dive into the first symptom exploration. And I chose headaches for a start because the other day I was doing a little fun video where I was banging my head against a tree, or so it seemed, shouting out how much my head hurt and that I urgently needed a pill or that someone amputated my head, with the intention to illustrate how we can be engaging in an action but not really be aware of what we're doing, like, for example, banging our head against a figurative tree or wall. And so look for the solution in places where it can really never be found. And of course, not all headaches are due to us banging our head against an invisible wall, although it is a possibility. So today I would like to explore a little bit more headaches to give you a few more ideas. And at the same time, what I am most interested in to transmit is the process, so that over time you can learn how to approach the dialogue with your symptoms, which questions to ask, so that you can really derive the treasures for your own individual case, because we are all different and no headache is the same, and there are no one-size-fits-all answers. A rose can symbolize very different things for different people. And so while other people like me can guide you, can give you inspiration, ultimately it's empowering to learn the language yourself. The way to start this is to put what you're experiencing in the body into words. Remember that that which we are experiencing in the body is what we are excluding from our conscious awareness. So either we are completely suppressing that archetype, that energy, not allowing ourselves to live it, and then we usually judge it in others, or we are actually living it, we are doing it, but we are not seeing that we are. And so our body, in that sense, is helping us to see. It's helping us to integrate a part that we're currently not owning. And when you start putting your symptoms, your experience into words, it can already bring some light into what might be going on. For example, when it comes to headaches, and there are so many different types of headaches, I'm just going to give you some ideas. For example, you might say, there's a fire burning in my head and it feels like exploding. My head feels under pressure. It feels like they are hammering my head, trying to break it. Clarity and light hurt my eyes, my head, make me feel worse, etc., etc., etc. Isn't it interesting to just listen to yourself? Already we might see that we are putting a lot of pressure on our head. And our head, of course, standing for the mental realm, for our mind, for our thinking, for our analytical side, for our masculine side in the end. So we could derive that maybe we are overemphasizing that part of our being without noticing. Or, on the other hand, we might need to engage it a little bit more. So we always need to explore both possibilities, both polarities, and feel into which one feels more true, which one resonates. We might also notice that there's a fire burning in us. Actually, in Chinese medicine, headache is described as rising fire, usually coming from the stomach or from the heart, from the liver. And fire could be anger or it could be sexual energy. So I could explore whether there is suppressed anger in me or suppressed sexual energy in me that I am not allowing to live, to express, or simply to own. Or I might find that clarity, as I said, hurts me, that in a certain situation I actually do not want to see clearly. And that is okay. It's very useful to replace I cannot support clarity and light, to replace that with I don't want to. I cannot keep my head up. I don't want to keep my head up right now. So our symptoms are always helping us to meet needs that we might be denying. So maybe there is a need or a desire for putting your head down or to not see in a certain situation. And all of us at times prefer to close our eyes to not see something clearly. And our body might be helping us if we deny that process in our consciousness. So all of that exploration is always without judgment. It's just about seeing, owning that we are human and that everything lives in us. Sometimes we are courageous and we want to face things, and sometimes we don't want to. We are not ready to. Can we accept that? So already exploring that which you have as a symptom in the body can give you important and super interesting insights into what you are denying at this point in time in your awareness as a step to own it. Next question would be to ask, what is that symptom forcing me to do? For example, in the case of headaches, most of the time it's laying down, it's resting, closing your eyes, putting something cool onto your head, laying in the dark. Maybe even vomiting, which is a very extreme form of surrender. So in other words, your body is forcing you into yin energy, into the feminine side of the equation, as opposed to yang energy, activity, masculine energy, doing, being active, as a means to reestablish balance. For example, if you have been overemphasizing the activity side in your life, and maybe there is a desire for rest, for closing your eyes, but that you don't dare to assert. And so the body steps in and makes it easier for you, because now you have a good excuse. So that which the body is forcing you to do, in a way, is connected to a yes that you feel on the inside, a desire, but that you do not dare to express or even to own that you have that desire. Because maybe you consider it a weakness. The next question would be, what does my body prevent me from doing? For example, continuing to work, meeting a friend for dinner, and the classical, having sex. Don't you remember that joke that, oh, if women don't want to have sex, they have a headache? It's a good excuse. So, in a way, that which your body prevents you from doing is related to a no that you are not owning or not expressing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I would have so loved to meet you for lunch, But I cannot. I have a headache. I have to go home and lay in bed. Oh, I'm so sorry. I cannot continue working today. I would have really, really wanted to, but I have a headache. Oh, poor you. Oh, yeah, of course we understand. Go home and rest. Much nicer and easier than having to say, you know what, I just simply don't want to work anymore today. I'm going home. What? Instead of, oh, poor you, you would get a, what the fuck? Who do you think you are? Go and sit on your butt and do your work. So, in order to avoid conflict or what we imagine might happen, we often choose the easier way out. And there the body comes in to help us, to assist us. But eventually, it's actually a quite uncomfortable way. And so, if we could learn to truly own our truth and to express it with courage, we might not need the bodies to step in and give us uncomfortable symptoms. This exploration might also be related to food, because maybe the body forces us to turn to certain foods and avoid others. Maybe it's a message to say, hey, look, I had enough coffee, I had enough spicy food, I had enough food that dries me, that increases my internal fire. I need more cooling food, I need more fruit, I need more water, etc. So we can always look at our symptom from different angles, but in general, it has to do with, in some way, not owning a need or a desire. So I hope I gave you some inspiration for exploring your own individual case. You can also always take into account the context of your headache occurring, in what situation did it show up, what was happening around you, to get even more insight into what exactly might be going on for you in your subconscious, and make it conscious. And when we make things conscious, we can integrate, we can own, and so then the body doesn't need to come in anymore to take over that which we are not doing consciously. And with that, I leave you for next time. Happy exploration.